And then also Leviticus 16:27, they were to burn completely the bodies of these animals that were sacrificed, and they were to be ashes. And Matthew 13:41 through 43 and Malachi 4:1 through 3 also speak of the great day of which the wicked will, the only thing that will be remembrance of sin of the wicked will be the ashes. Let's deal a little bit with this mysterious figure, the scapegoat. There's been a lot of question about the identity of the scapegoat. Does anybody have a different translation there besides scapegoat? Does your Bible say, let's see, that would be Leviticus 16 verse 8. Leviticus 16 verse 8. Pretty much everyone has the same thing. It just says scapegoat.
Down in the notes it says goat of removal, but...
Goat of removal.
Right.
I found that as well. In the Hebrew, the name there is Azazel.
Mine has
Yeah.
And it's a proper name. It is pointing to someone specifically. And we're going to take a look at what that is. You know, there's been a lot of confusion on this, and I can understand a little bit why. But I hope to show you some scriptures that really bring out who this is. Look in Leviticus 17 verse 7. I think it's interesting that this comes right after chapter 16. The Bible there says, they shall no more offer their sacrifices to demons after whom they have played the harlot. What does your translation say there for demons? Is that all the same, or is there anything else there?
Mine says devils.
Devils, okay? Demons.
Having the form of a goat.
Having the form
Goat
of a
like
goat.
gods.
Goat idol.
A goat idol. The Hebrew word there is sair.
Yeah, that's here, or Sair.
Yes, the Hebrew word there is sair. And that's only used a couple of places in the Bible. And I want to show you some of those places. Actually, we won't look at all of them. But 2 Chronicles 11:15, talking about the reign of Jeroboam. And he set up a golden calf. And it also says he set up idols to Sair. To this goat demon. Also, let's go to Isaiah chapter 13. Isaiah 13. And take a look at the context here in Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13 is look at verse 4. In the middle of verse 4, the Lord of hosts musters the army for battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, the Lord and his weapons of indignation to destroy the whole land. Look down at verse 11. Verse 11, I will punish the world for its evil and the wicked for their iniquity. I will halt the arrogance of the proud and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Verse 19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' pride, will be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It will never be inhabited, nor will it be settled from generation to generation, nor will the Arabian pitch his tent there. Verse 21, but the wild beasts of the desert will lie there, and their houses will be full of owls. Ostriches will dwell there, and wild goats will caper there. Does anyone have a different translation on any of those things there? On ostriches?
Mine says owls.
Owls. Okay.
This is jackal.
Jackals.
Mine says howling creatures.
Howling creatures.
Wild goats like demons will dance there.
I know. Owls, jackals, howling creatures, and it's all the same.
Yeah.
You know, the word there, wild goats will caper there, is the same exact word. It's sair.
Yeah, mine says Sair.
Yeah.
The King James.
It's the same word. So the King James, I think, says satyr.
Oh, you're right.
She'll dance there.
What's that?
She'll dance there.
They'll dance
Dance
there.
there. Yeah, that's-
You know what a satyr is? A satyr is from Roman concept of half goat, half man. Where the man is on the top and the goat's legs are on the bottom. And you know what? This is, it's actually a very demonic figure. And I know that they've been portrayed as, you know, these cute little animals in fantasy movies and things like this. But this is a very demonic thing. Go over to Isaiah 34. There's another instance of this word here in Isaiah 34. And again, notice the context of Isaiah. It's talking about impending judgment. It's talking about the Lord's final destruction of the whole earth. Start like verse 2. The indignation of the Lord is against all nations. His fury is against their armies. He's utterly destroyed them. He's given them over to slaughter. Verse 8. Look at verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, the year of recompense for the cause of Zion. Its streams will be turned into pitch, and its dust to brimstone. Its land shall be burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night or day. Its smoke shall ascend forever. What is this sounding like? This is the day of judgment of God. Take a look at, and the call is that there's going to be desolation. In the middle of verse 10, from generation to generation it will lie and waste. No one shall pass through it forever and ever. And the only creatures that are said to be here, in verse 11, mine says the pelican and the porcupine, the owl, the raven, jackals, you know, all of these kinds of things. But then down in verse 14, this is what it says. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the jackals, or the howling creatures. And the wild goat, the sair, shall bleat to its companion, and also the night creature shall rest there. In the Hebrew, the word for night creature is lilith. L-E-E, it's like leaf, L-I-T-H. And if you look up on the internet, Lilith, L-I-L-I-T-H, Lilith was a female night demon from the country of Moab that was supposedly to inhabit the desert places. Lilith, yeah.
L-I, how do you spell?
L-I-L-I-T-H. And this wild goat, this satyr, this sair, again, it's the same word, that sacrificing to demons that we find there in Leviticus 17. You know, Jesus says when he comes, I'm going to separate as a shepherd does the sheep from his goats. And the sheep, what is their destiny? Everlasting life. Come and inherit the kingdom prepared for you by my Father. But the goats, what is their destiny? Destruction. The fire. This goat, Azazel, by the way, if you do a search for Azazel on the internet, you go to Wikipedia and other places. I didn't spend too long doing this because it took me to some really scary places. I did not like the places it was taking me. But all of this stuff is pointing to Satan. Azazel is a personal name for Satan. In satanic circles, this is what I was reading on the internet, in satanic circles, Azazel is Satan.